in your hand and put mouthwash in your mouth and he's
so, because you're laughing too hard, I can hear anything you said. So, what did I do when I was 2?
you stick your finger up your butt and you had shit on your finger. And I came in and saw it. And I said, what's on your hand? And you said,
Candy.
candy. And you go like this. And I said, and I smelled it. And so I picked you up and rushed you to the bed.
I heard that last part, but to say. Oh yeah, I remember when I got out of the garage and I.
Remember when you crawled through Bob's house in the dog?
Oh my gosh, that was epic. Yeah, I remember I was like waiting out there, waiting for him. I don't even know what got me so attracted to him. Like, I went to his house and I kept knocking on the door, but no one would answer. And I saw these 2 Hispanics, and not to be racist or anything, I swear. I'm like, can you help me through here? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And they helped me through, and I went through the the backyard, and I went in his house. They came home, and I think I almost gave him a heart attack. And he brought me home, and Blake was outside. She's like, what the fuck? Good times.
Remember when you didn't like Jane and you'd go across the street and do mean things and
Who's Jane?
that old lady that lived right across the street from Mama Nona?
You told me she kidnapped me.
Yeah, but the reason she did was because you kept going to her house and you didn't like her, so you'd throw rocks and dog shit in her yard.
I remember one time when the garage was open and Stefan and his friends were trying to ride the skateboard, which I think was a very stupid idea because Stefan's got no balance. Unfortunately, like me, because like I said, I wasn't like anywho. I'm like crying from laughter. Remember when when we were out, like said, hey, can I try? And they're like, yeah, sure. And I didn't know how to ride it, so I sat on the thing with my legs and arms on, you know what I mean? And he rolled me down the thing, and I went so fast that I accidentally went into her garage. Like, I dented the garage and I went right through it. And the garage was closed and everything.
I remember Blossom would take these big shits.
Who the fuck is Blossom?
Blossom was Blake's dog when you had your dog.
No, that was Elfie.
No, she had Blossom too. A big
I don't remember Blossie or Blossom. I remember Elf and Santa.
No, that was your dog.
I know, Santa was my dog, Elf was her dog. Which honestly, in my opinion, I think my dog should have been named Elf and her dog shouldn't have been Santa because her dog was bigger than mine.
I know, but before that, you guys had Blossom and you had Lemon Baby.
I don't remember any of them.
And Blossom was a big brown lab, chocolate lab. And Blossom took these big shits. So you were mad, and you came in and you asked me for a bag. And I said, what do you need a bag? And you
Pick apart shits.
You said, I'm cleaning the backyard. And I thought, well, that's good, girl. So you went out there and you filled it up with dog shit. And so then you went in Jane's garage. And her garage door was open. And you opened her back door that led from her garage. And you spread the dog shit throughout her house. Well, then you snuck out. But you weren't smart enough to get out of the front yard. So Jane came out and could smell the shit and then fell in it. she comes knocking on our door, and she has you by the neck with your clothes. She's knocking on your door. She says, "Is this little bastard yours?" And she said, "You better hire someone to clean the shit out of my house." And I said, "Well, she wouldn't do that." And so she called the police, and the police said, asked you, "Did you do that?" And you had these big eyes, and you said, "Honest, I didn't do it." And you just, I knew you'd done it because you'd asked me for the bill. And the police officer told her, "You have no proof that this little girl did it." And she says she didn't. So we believe her. You just go clean it up yourself.
That's what I get for being adorable.
And they said, and they patted you on the head. And they said, "You're a good girl."
Yeah,
said-
good girl on the devil's.
And Papa said, "Good girl, my ass." Because every day Papa would call me because he just would, he loved to take you to school at Happy Days.
Mm-hmm.
And every day we had you dressed so beautiful. And you didn't want Daddy to leave. So
I'd hide under his truck or
his
car.
car every day. So by the time you got to school, his clothes were ruined, so he'd have to go back home. And then your clothes were ruined, so we'd have to bring you back, and we'd be late.
I remember one time I was looking up a red poodle, like a red shirt that had a poodle on the side of it, and I got in timeout, and there were scissors next to me. Do you remember when I cut up like that shirt?
You always cut up everything with scissors. We had to hide the scissors.
No, but I mean, do you remember that?
Yes, do you remember when the Happy Days called me and said, "Where's Noah?"
Happy Days called me and said, "Where's Noah?"
Happy Days called me and said that you had raided the kitchen.
We had a kitchen in there?
Yeah, they cooked your meals and everything.
I don't know. I just remembered like this big classroom with...
Oh, no, you had a kitchen, and they made you breakfast and lunch, and you got a snack.
Ow.
Well, you were hungry, and they told you it was an hour before lunch. So you snuck in the kitchen, and you ate the whole ham. They had a package of ham, and you ate the whole package. Everybody was supposed to have ham sandwiches, and you ate the whole 2 pounds of ham. So then they said, "Who ate the ham?" And they asked each child, and every child said no. So then they said, "Okay, open your mouth and let me smell your breath." And they said as soon as they got towards you, they knew because your mouth smelled like ham. So
I should have brought mouth on.
so they said, "And you were only 3." And they said, "Betty Jean, did you eat the ham?" No. "Do you promise?" No. "Well, where did you get the ham that's in your mouth?" "I found it in my desk." It's like, Betty Jean, if you're going to make up a lie, make up one you're going to
It's
believe.
believable.
And Miss Melissa would say, I'd come pick you up, and I'd say, "How was she today?" And she says, "Don't ask."